Hello everyone, I'm going to report about the transportation planning, urban transportation and urban land use. By the way, I'm Ken Arlando Mizola will be reporting this topic. Urban transportation planning. In urban transportation planning is involved the evaluation and selection of highway or transit facilities to serve present and future land use. For example, for this is that the construction of new project in the urban will require additional transportation service and the creation or expansion of roads and transit services. In urban transportation planning is considered with two separate time horizons. They are short-term and long-term project. In short-term project is implemented within 1 to 2 year period and it involves the programs such as traffic signal timing to improve flow, car and van pooling to reduce congestion, and pipe ride range, parking lots to increase the transit ridership and transit improvement. So in the long-term project is this with a long-range transportation and project we constructed over 20 years period. It involved programs such as additional new highway, additional lines of freeway lanes, rapid transit system, and extensions or access roads to airport or shopping malls. So this is the urban transportation planning process as you can see at the left side. It and it is carried out the time of produce procedures outlined previously and is usually described as follow. So this is the process of the transportation planning. So urban land use and transportation. So urban land use reflects the location and level of the special accumulation of activities such as retailing management, manufactural, residential. They are generate flow supported by transportation system. So this is the within the city now where the transportation will happening and it was main roads and highways to be construction there in the urban land. So urban areas are characterized by social, cultural, and economic activities taking place at a separate location forming an activity system. These such activities is related to mobility of the passenger and mobility of the friends. So related to our working process every day are since activities have a different location, this separation is a generation of the movement of the passenger and friend, which are supported by support transportation. Therefore, transportation and land use are interrelated because of the location and interaction nature of the urban activities. The preference of individual, institution, and the firm have imprint on the land use in terms of their location choice. The representation of this imprint requires the typology of land use, which can be formal and functional for land. In the formal land is representation of the concerned with the qualitative attributes of space such as its form, pattern, and aspects for descriptive in nature. Functional land use representation are concerned with the economical nature of activities such as production, consumption, residence, and transport, and are mainly socio-economic description of space. At, at global level, cities consume about 3% of the total land mass. So in the front of city, footprint of the city, the residential is the most common that occupy the footprint of the urban. So at the following, we have a percentage of the occupying occupying the footprint of the city or urban. So in residential land use, we have 65% and 70%. In commercial, we have 5%, 15%, and the industrial, we have 15 to 25%. and the rules of parking space have 35 to 50%. And within the parking lot, we about 40% of that is surface is devoted to parking vehicles, while the remaining 60% is for circulation and access to individual parking spaces. Well, these is types of urban expansion. We have five of them. We have infilling, extension, linear development, sprawl, and large-scale project. In infilling, it's a development set that unused or being development to the uses. So infilling is the like innovating buildings. An extension is the extension of the land use and development directly adjacent to the existing land use. So it's new expansion of the areas and development. And the linear development is similar to extension, but in this case, expansion is shaped by the existing corridor of circulation such as highway and transit line, like subway or light rail. Sprawl is a standard form of suburban development taking for advantage for scattered lots. Large-scale project. The settings of the large infrastructure projects such as new port, airport, industrial zone, logistic zone, or intermodal terminal consume a large amount of the land. So this is the map of the types of urban expansion. We have here the, the example of the urban area, and we have the roads, and and the we have the existing build-up, infilling, extension, linear development, sprawl, and large-scale project. We have represent in the map. So relationship between land use and transportation. Understanding the relation between the land use and the transportation is extremely important for designing a prosperous and safe transportation society. Land use and transportation are interdependent, similar to chicken and egg relationship. Effective utilization of land simulates urban activities, and roads and other transportation facilities are maintained so as to allow transportation-related activity, creating new roads and expanding existing ones, increasing attractive of the land they pass through, promoting new urban facilities. And when the city is growing slowly, it is easy to pressure utilization and traffic planning to much pace. So in times the city will economic grow, the demand for the land use will increasingly and development of transportation facilities may be unable to keep up for them. So the city experience high degree of economic growth will experience heavy congestion of and other transportation problem like traffics and and other area that so hard to maintain the transportation. So urban transportation aims at supporting transport demands generated by diversity of the urban activities and the diversity of the urban context. A key for understanding the urban entities those lies in the analysis and the pattern and processes of the transport land use system, since the same processes may result in the different outcome. This system is highly complex and involves several relationships between the transport system, the spatial interactions, and the land use. So the transport system is transport infrastructure and modes that support the mobility passenger of different generally express the level accessibility. And the spatial interactions are nature of the extent, origin, and destination of the urban mobility of the passenger and friend. They take into the consideration attributes of the transport system as well as the land use factors that are generating and attracting movement. And land use is the level of a spatial accumulation of activities and their access-related labor mobility requirement. Land use is the cumulative demographic and economical attributes. And lastly is the relation between transportation and the land use that have been focused of a long line of geographical representation, including models, are mainly driven by the economic and technological changes. It is expected that the ongoing changes related to the regionalization, such as the e-commerce and the automation in the manufacturing and distribution, will continue to shape the urban spatial structure in the 21st centuries. For and I will share about this video for more information of urban transportation planning. So we start the video now.
We were appointed by Capital and Counties to be their transport consultants for the Ormscourt Master Plan. It's a 32 hectare site with only 3 landowners. When we started on the job, we'd thought that the draft allocation for residential and employment uses in the London Plan didn't fully reflect the sustainable development potential of this site. There were 3 London Underground stations around the edges of the site, plus an overground rail station. As such, we thought there was a bigger opportunity to achieve better integration of land use and transport planning. We carried out a number of technical studies looking at all of the transport modes to help get an idea on the development capacity which could be achieved at this site. So Terry Farrell was appointed as master planner, and we worked with the team to develop his initial master plan sketch into an outline master plan. There were lots of challenges which had to be dealt with. There was this very congested road network around the site. Although there were stations on the rail and underground network, they had some crowding issues, and a lot of the train services themselves were crowded. The site was severed and split into 2 by the West London line. So we worked on technical solutions to all of those problems. There was a proposal for the West London line to be decked over to reunite the site and better connect it with the surrounding public transport nodes. That meant that a new linear park could be developed through the site. We looked at the stations with the team and helped to design and analyse station improvements to increase the capacity and safety. We also found that it was possible to better coordinate traffic signals on the wider highway network, and that allowed the additional development traffic to be accommodated in a much better way. The site now has a consented master plan for 1 million square feet of development, including 7,500 homes and the associated social infrastructure. I've been told that it has an estimated gross development value of £12 billion, which would make it the most valuable planning consent in the UK. I'm proud that through our work we've helped with the delivery of much needed housing for London, along with improved public realm and transport improvements.
And that's all my report. Thank you for listening and whether it's my friends. Thank you for all.